Bob Weigel of Sound Doctorin, and I've got two specimens here that we've just gone through and mostly repaired. I think I just discovered another problem with the slider there. You know, fader lube, good product, and if anything can get that rectified, it should be able to. But sometimes inside these potentiometers, you have to actually pull them apart, retension them, and clean some stuff out, and use a dielectric grease or something on the actual material in there. It really helps and lasts longer too. And this one, I may be doing it on this one still. I thought I had it all going, but it looks like it needs it. Too bad. Yeah, that would get a complaint, I'm sure, if we sold it like that. Okay, what do we got here? This is cutoff attack, pretty much the same. I'm playing just the brass alone right now. You can mix on these. You can mix most of the things on the Orchestra 1 / the ARP Quartet. They were marketed as the same keyboard with a different front panel. I've got the ARP in the other room, and I'm going to stick it up here next and continue the video showing the differences in it. But these machines, as near as I can tell, are set up pretty much the same. There's a couple significant differences that seem to be there that I'll show you. Maybe they use some different filtering or something. But the Orchestra II and the OR400 and the Prelude by Sequential Circuits are the same machine, built by Siel in Italy. Now, we've got a it's a 4-part synthesizer. You can pick brass, piano, reed, or string on this one, brass, piano, organ, or strings on this one. They rename reed organ. It's just things like that. And the organ parts, they rename pipe church organ, or church organ gets renamed pipe, I should say, on the American version. Accordion gets renamed organ 1, musette gets named organ 2, or musette, kill musette. I don't know what it is. Is it a musette, or I'm an ignoramus, I don't know. And then we have your attack and release are the same, cello and violin are the same, mute and percussion are the same. However, over here, let's see, we have resonance and we have crescendo. Instead, we have swell on the Prelude. Trumpet, brass 2 on the Prelude. Trombone, brass 1. Sequential felt that the American ear was more distinguishing, I guess, about what an actual trumpet was, and they decided to save themselves the lawsuit and name it Brass 1. Anyway, yeah, definitely, I don't think it's really a trombone, is it? Or a trumpet, but anyway, familiar organ footage names up here on the OR400. Now, I've got the animator turned all the way down, or as they call it, the chorus down here. The animator on the OR400. Now you'll notice that these buttons, you have a light up here and it shows whether something is active or not. So if you go and press the string, you'll notice the chorus light comes on here. Push the brass, it goes off. However, if you hit the chorus, it goes on, you override it, and the brass begins to have the chorus on it. However, listen. Nothing with it off. Get pretty extreme chorus there. Now let's listen to this one. Nothing. A little less violent. So I think these are set up different. Maybe that's changeable in there. I'm not sure. Can't remember what all trimmers it had in that section. But this one screams. I mean, it's just really set up to where you get very flangey, heavy-duty effects there. This one's a little more in control. So anyway, I'll leave it that way. If somebody objects, we can figure out if we can change that. But this one is the one I had, and I guess we're going to sell this one for Schizoid Johnny. And so this one has also a little difference in the string section. Notice notice this. I've got everything set the same. I'm going to just drop all those to 0. All those are set approximately the same, even though the speed, you notice the speed is a little variant. I've got to set it there to synchronize, and it's a little faster on this one than that one. Again, I don't think that would have to be set on the board with a resistor, I believe. Also, the equalizers aren't even close. Much more blunt on this thing. They're much weaker there on their levels. I have to really crank them up to get the same effect on that one. So I'm going to sell the Prelude on because I think it's overall going to be more useful in those things to somebody who doesn't know the quirks of it. And I already know the quirks of this one. So anyway, you hear without the EQ. See, that drops very quickly off. It's designed, I think, that way. I think they changed that aspect of this one, and the reason I say that is because the Orchestra 1 is set up very similar to this one. This one is obviously deliberately set up as a smoother flowing. I don't think there's anything in the circuitry that could break and cause it to do that. I think that's just the way it is. Set up, you set the release down, of course, everything drops. But on this one, you get a double envelope. It drops that initial blunt part of the sound and maintains the other part, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so the sounds are very similar, though. I hear no difference in the chorus effect. I hear no difference in the actual tone generation of the strings. Organs, listen to the organs. Let's see, crank them all up. Organ. Very similar. I don't think there's any difference in the organs. I think they are pretty identical. Yeah, can't tell any difference there. Except maybe a little sharper attack, I think, on this one. Just a hair. It's a new one. Anyway, they're very, very close. Now, the pianos are all set up, and the decays are kind of similar. Very similar. But this one seems to cut a little faster on that, so just a little different enveloping. And analog synthesizers, you know, your components vary and you just adjust things to make it the same. Down low. It's just a little different. More ballsy on the low end on this one, I think. The voicing on the brass here is set up a little different. You can adjust that inside. Yeah, the cutoffs are different. I've got the cutoff slider set about the same, but obviously it's not the same. Sure, as I say that, they almost sound the same. The resonance is sweeping from a lower point. You can hear. Yeah, it's going. This one's going. So yeah. Anyway. Rough description. You gotta, forgive me for my crude attempt to emulate analogdom. But anyway, I believe that could be adjusted inside. It's just these were just set by ear roughly when I got them. I didn't have a calibration procedure on them, so which I probably do. Do I? No, I have the Orchestra 1. So anyway, I don't have the formal procedure on where to set these things, but you just set it when it sounds good and kind of use it usually on these. But I really like that combo between the two. When you combine brass and reed, you get a nice. Let's see. Okay, anyway, that's pretty much it on these things, I think. They are what they are, and there are some useful sounds that can be gotten out of them, and especially if you're playing, you know, ABBA songs and stuff. Those strings are just right in there. Anyway, God bless, sounddoctrine.com. Check out the website, sounddoctrine.com. If you need any help with synthesizer stuff or keys, you know, we've got a cross-reference for all the keys of all the old synths pretty much in there now, and most of those in stock. Take care. God bless.